Greetings, my name is Peter Downs, and along with my wife Kathy, we're the National Directors for Vineyard Churches in Australia. And we're delighted to be here at this global get-together of our Vineyard family. We certainly hold the value of family very high, and just we're delighted to have this opportunity to come and to share with you and be with you. In fact, our entire board has paid their own way to be here this week to spend this time together with you all. We have a little saying in Australia, which is a very simple one. In fact, this flag says it pretty clearly for us. And it's Aussie, 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 to which there is a response. And the response is this: oi, oi, oi. So I thought we might give that a go. This is a greeting from everybody in Australia. Aussie, Aussie, Aussie. And then you go, oi, oi, oi. Here we go. Aussie, Aussie, Aussie. Oi, oi, oi. Well done. That's great. Pity we can't video you so that we can show it to everybody back home. This is our 20th anniversary year in Australia. It's been a wild ride for us, as it has for probably all of you, or many of you at least. We've seen lots of great things, seen lots of tough things. We're going through some tough times at the moment, but we're also going through some wonderful times, and I'm just so thankful to God for His goodness to us and His faithfulness to us. At the moment we're seeing many things developing which we haven't seen in any great measure before. Most important and exciting to us is that there is new unity that is developing in our movement, which really is an act of God. Australians are a pretty independent bunch, a little bit different to our New Zealand neighbours, who are all such nice people, or we're all born convicts, or our ancestors were convicts. But just over this last year or two, we've seen a real development of unity occurring in the movement, especially amongst a lot of our younger guys who have been raising up in the movement. And the other thing that's happening at the same time as that is that we're seeing a great diversity occurring. We're seeing lots of what we call traditional, classic, whatever you want to call them, vineyards, but also a lot of new expressions which we've been very determined to encourage and to see rising up. A lot of those are new, and a lot of those are struggling, as are some of our traditional. But we can certainly see that God is on the move and developing something, and we just pray that what is happening on the ground at the moment will just grow into something wonderful. As well as unity and lots of young leaders rising up, we're seeing quite a move in social justice, which we've never before, sort of as a movement, engaged with. There's just a freedom enough now with that unity and diversity for us to be able to just let our voice be exercised a little bit more, and we look forward to seeing that develop even more. Compassion is still very much at the heart of who we are. We have some churches just doing some wonderful things in the areas of compassion. And something new that we're also doing is Vineyard College. We have our own sort of national training arm. And rather than invent the wheel ourselves and establish a vineyard college that everybody comes to, we've actually taken 3 or 4 key vineyard subjects and placed them in colleges that already exist, in Bible colleges that already exist. And it is very exciting to see people come alive with what many of us discovered, many of us, particularly in evangelical circles, to hear of the Spirit and to see a model for that which is just real and relevant and exciting and powerful is what we're seeing as we go into Bible colleges and see leaders from other churches and other movements get a hold of it and get a hold of the kingdom message in the way that we have. So there's lots of exciting things going on. Last weekend I was in New South Wales, one of our states, in Sydney, a little town you might have heard of. And we had a state conference, and at that state conference we had a meeting one lunchtime for those interested in church planting. And we had 25 people turn up at that, or people who are looking at signing up on our church planters training track. So lots of good things. We've seen some great spiritual renewal. We're very thankful for many who have visited us from other countries, as well as our own leaders, who have led us into this place where over the last probably 3 to 5 years we've seen the manifest presence of God at work more powerfully than we probably have in the 10 or 15 years previous to that. So we're excited. Again, we have some tough things going on, like most of our movements do or have experienced at some point. We've lost quite a few churches in this sort of transition and rebuilding phase. We're nearly 20 years old. That means that some of the glue that wasn't there in the early days when we were born out of a revival or renewal sort of caused us to lose some of the churches that signed up for that particular purpose, but in all we are very delighted. And we wish the same for you. We wish that and pray that God will just continue to bless you and your churches and the Vineyard Movement throughout the world as we be a blessing to many people and see many lives changed.